Hi everybody and welcome back to La Capricornia with me, Priscilla Moreno. So you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like the March messages were giving us no time in getting ready, and they were just like, okay, instead of this happening throughout the month, it's gonna start right now. And it was just like bam, 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 bam. And the biggest message that I got was definitely stepping into a leadership position in your feminine energy. And maybe it was because it was International Women's Day on Friday, I'm not sure, but the energies were just there and it helped me a lot when it came to work. I tend to really go into my masculine energy, just because that's the way sometimes things work for me and they work the best. And most of the time, I'm very good about, hey, I already know what I'm gonna do. And I realized that, hey, sometimes you need to step into that feminine energy. And I also do feel that I do that at home sometimes as well, or with friends or things like that. And so it's definitely something that I kind of was taking a lot of notice last week. And I was just like, you know, I need to step into my feminine energy. And, it's not that I'm not going to have that leadership position or be recognized or be heard. I'm going to be heard and I'm going to have a lot more of an opportunity for somebody to actually like what I'm saying and listen versus if I just come off completely wrong and they just shut down, which I mean, not that I would come off wrong, but if you know, you know. But I'm gonna pull the first card, which is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, I do feel like this opportunity that I have been talking about is coming in, and I think you might have seen a glimpse of it. I do feel like there was a small, like, hey, there's an opportunity, and it just started kind of like building up. And not only is it building up, I do feel like it was like, hey, now it's starting to like flower, and then you're being given like these flowers now. It's starting to turn into something else, and it's because not only was it like an opportunity, but I feel like it also gave you like that confidence. I think I had mentioned, I forgot which reading it was, that I was told that I was really great at something, and it just gave me like, oh my gosh, that confidence boost. And I know I have definitely been working a bit different since I got that confidence boost. So it could be that that gave you that little motivation you're going for, because it gave you that glimpse of like, you know what? I could take on the world. I definitely could take on the world. And it's definitely giving you something else. I also know that I was told about a different kind of opportunity at work again. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's something that I think is going to be good for me. And I think deep down I actually want it. So I'm excited about that part. Okay, so the next card is the Five of Cups. I do feel though that it's the opposite of this. So I feel like there was a time where like you were mourning at the past. You were just staring at these cups and saying, you know, I don't know what to do. I dropped them. I'm just, I could not get over that these cups are just gone now. And you're not realizing, hey, you still have two. Like maybe you could sell these off for twice as much to make up for the rest of them or do something, but those two are there. I don't feel like you're going through this, but I feel like you're just getting over now. And I think you're starting to realize that too, that, hey, something that I used to mourn over, something that I was sad about, like I'm not thinking about it so much. I'm not sad about it as much anymore. And it could even be like your own story. I know that one of the things that I did beginning this year, or maybe a little bit before, I can't remember, but I definitely changed my mindset of the story I was telling myself. I, used to tell myself a lot that I was in a certain place in my life, and I was at one point, but I was just kind of stuck with that energy of like, this is who I was. This problem that I had gone through was like basically almost like it identified me, right? And I was just so stuck in that energy. And You know, I even stopped talking about it and I stopped referencing things about it. And it's not that I'm trying to like just bury it or anything like that. I processed it. Trust me, I processed it, but it would still, you know, somewhat come up. And then I was like, you know what? I need to stop talking about it. I need to stop identifying myself with this past. This is not you anymore. Like, look how far you've come. It's been X amount of time. You're thriving. You're still alive. I don't know why you're holding on to this idea when you are doing so much on your own, you know? And so I started realizing, like, oh, you know, I don't even really talk about that anymore. And I don't, you know, it's not even that I missed it, but it's, I guess, keeping yourself in that victim mentality, which, yes, you know, everybody struggles through. Even when you try not to do that, or have gone through therapy or whatever it is, you find yourself doing it in different ways. And, you know, sometimes the things that helped you get out of it, you know, you kind of like stay stuck with it, and you're stuck in that story. So I know talking about certain things helped me get over certain things, but it kind of kept me stuck there too, if that makes any sense. So I do feel, like I said, it's working. You're starting to realize, like, oh, I'm over it. I don't care. Or you're just like, oh, okay. Like if somebody tells you about the situation or reminds you, like, do you remember when this happened? And you're like, oh, like, yeah, how long ago was that? You know, and it's not you pretending, like, really, it's like, wow, I'm really not thinking about it. You know, it's not like before, maybe, where you knew the exact, you know, days to the second of how long ago it was. You're so over it. Okay, the next card is the King of Pentacles. I do feel that this has to do with some finances. I feel like you're starting to look at your finances and you're starting to make changes to it. A lot of what I'm feeling right now is even looking at like how the king, I don't know if you could see it that well. There you go. So he's kind of like smirking. He's kind of like holding that coin, like, okay, just thinking, this is what I'm going to do. And I feel like that's you right now. So I know right now it's like a time when people usually get like their taxes back, their bonuses, and we're already starting to think, okay, what are we going to do with this, right? Am I going to buy a new car? Am I going to like fix something up? Am I going to like blah, blah, blah? I think you're really thinking about it, of what to do with this coin. But I also feel that you need to do, and again, you guys don't need to listen to me because there is no way that I have any knowledge of your finances, but I do feel that you need to make the decision to work on the things that are holding you back when it comes to that. So change your mindset on it. Really pay attention to what's important and what's not. I know for me, like I say, we're getting different things right now. I definitely don't want anything, you know, that I could have maybe like a loan on, or, you know, medical bills, anything like that. So those are my priorities right now. And I have been watching like a lot of different videos on like Instagram and different things like that on trying to change my relationship with my financing. And it's not that I was bad with my financing, but I just feel like now I'm in a place where I have to rethink everything, right? Especially, at least for me, buying a new home and having to like, okay, now this is where my budget's going to. It went from this to this, and I gotta rebudget. I gotta like check everything. I gotta like this and that. If something happens, I kind of have to have like that, you know, emergency money, things like that. So I'm really, really looking at my budget, seeing what's a priority, seeing what's not a priority, you know. But I'm also trying to do all kinds of things to this home. So then it's like, okay, I also need to start this. So you're having a really, you know, I feel like it's a good thing though. Like I feel like you're just like, you're knowing what to do with it. And I do feel that a lot. Like I'm telling you, you're just kind of thinking like, okay, but he has a smirk on his face because he's making the right decisions. Like I just feel like he's like, okay, you know, you're seeing everything for what it is. Like, I'm gonna pay this off and then I'll save what I was paying that way into this, right? So you're gonna almost pretend like you're still paying this or something and saving. But either way, that coin's looking really good. Even if you don't feel like you have it, or you feel like you're gonna spend a good portion of it, it's going for something good for you. It's gonna benefit you at the end. Okay. So I do have the Sun card. I do feel though with this is that I don't know. I feel like kind of like I was telling you guys last time, I feel like there's just some anxiety. And the weird thing about it is as soon as I pulled this, I started feeling like I don't know, like I'm even getting kind of like almost like a pain in my back kind of like, but I feel like it's like exhaustion. Ugh, if I could talk right. Exhaustion. I feel like you're just tired. Like there's something you are just like really feeling tired about. And I feel like you really need to pay attention to your body when you start feeling this way about a certain situation or about something that you're wanting to do, because I think you're trying to tell yourself, you know what, like this isn't working out anymore. Like you're starting to physically feel it. It's kind of like I mentioned earlier that, you know, I got some great news last week, and it's something that I know I have said in the past, like, oh, I don't know if I do this, you know, like this and that, but it's definitely something that I think deep down I think I should be doing. Like I could feel it. It's weird, and I'm starting to feel like a little like exhausted. Ugh, I cannot talk today. Tired, over it. I don't know what other words to use, but I'm just like over it when it comes to certain things that I'm doing, you know, going this way. So now that I'm heading the other way, I'm starting to feel like a little bit more easier and things like that. And I even mentioned that in my reading, that you were going to start feeling as you're going the other way, kind of start relaxing. And the weird thing about that is I'm telling you, my back was kind of bothering me, and it actually started kind of relaxing as soon as I said that, which is kind of weird because I don't feel tired. Well, I didn't feel tired when I started this video. I don't know. And I don't know what that could mean either, because I'm telling you, it's just, yeah, it's so weird. And then now I'm starting to feel a whole lot better. Like I'm like, ugh, I can relax. And I know I said that in my video too, because there's going to be a big decision that you're going to have to make. And I think that's where I'm telling you, I think deep down, you know, and I feel like the signs are there. I feel like you know, everything has been leading down this way. And I just feel like, you know, this is the right thing to do. And this is your next like chapter. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm also getting the death card in reversed. So I do feel like this, like I'm telling you, you're kind of going over everything, and it's like the death of all this thinking. I almost kind of feel like there's, you know, now that I'm really like, I feel like this is kind of like pulling all together for me, right? So I do feel that if I could find the other cards, I don't know where I put them at. But, or maybe I placed them back in. But I do feel like this is the ending of, you know, of feeling the way you're feeling. So if you're just feeling like something was building up, you're just getting frustrated with something, and you're just like, you know what, I'm done. But it's not a bad thing. So don't think like, oh my gosh, like, you know, death card, this and that. I feel like you're finally saying, I'm giving in. I'm totally giving in. I'm so done. I'm going a whole different way with it. I feel like it has to do with everything though. I feel like even when we're talking about finances, like, right, you're basically saying like, you know what, I'm done living that way. So maybe you were living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe, like I said, you were used to living a certain way, but now you have a different role with your finances in the way that you're, you know, the way you have it all set up. And so then now you're like, okay, wait, like, I'm done. I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm on the right path. Maybe you're investing in something different. Everything I feel that I've talked about has had an ending. So even about mourning the past, like telling yourself that story of you, I feel like you're truly done and over with it, and you have a new beginning right now. I also feel like you're having like a whole kind of glow up moment right now, right? I think people are looking at you and they're like, hey, like, you're looking great. What are you doing, you know? And you could be working out, you could be like trying something new skincare wise, but I really do feel like you're glowing, you're radiating, you're just like this amazing person on the inside. And I think I also said that in my March readings about the way you'd be radiating, and it's because you're figuring it out. You're starting to head towards the right direction. I do know that sometimes you have to kind of almost like hit rock bottom, or, you know, kind of get to a certain point for you to finally be like, okay, you know, I am not going to do this anymore. And, you know, because you kind of have no other way to go. Okay, so I am now going to get you guys a guided card. You guys, and I don't know why, I just got this little burst of like happiness right now. Kind of almost feel like, I don't know, something big is coming. It's gonna be great, because I just feel like smiling like so big. It's so weird, and I'm not saying I don't have anything to smile for, but you know, right now I'm not even thinking of anything, which is weird. Like, you know, I was honestly thinking like, oh, you know, where are my cards at? And I was shuffling them, and I just got like this huge like cheesy smile. Like, I don't know if that's gonna make sense to anyone, but I do feel like there's gonna be so much happiness coming to you. You're just gonna be like so happy about something. It's gonna be a big decision. Okay, so the next card is Peaceful Warrior, Archangel Ariel. Thank you, Ariel, for helping me stand my ground with peace. So I swear, you guys, I have been talking about leading in that feminine energy. So I do feel like that message is still very strong. We do need to lead in your feminine energy. And I know I mentioned a couple different ways. I'm actually really great at it, which is crazy, because even I had to kind of like remind myself like, hey, why do you do all these leadership trainings, you know, when you basically, you know, you have the answers. And so you definitely have to be that peaceful warrior. You have to find the right way to lead, the right way to combat, you know, and do things the correct way. I feel like that's definitely going to get you your victory. And it's not going to be over, you know, going after blood, which I know sometimes going after the blood is like so much easier, but definitely try to do the peaceful thing. And if you don't know how to do it, do not be afraid to ask. I kind of had to ask my boss on a certain situation too on how to handle it, just because, again, I didn't know the people 100%, so I didn't want to kind of step on any toes this time. And, you know, I got a great way of getting told kind of like how to kind of, you know, get on their side. So it works out. Okay, and for your coffee cup tarot, I have wisdom, whale, wisdom keeper. So again, I do feel like I was telling you, I do feel like you have a lot of that knowledge inside of you. So like I said, even with myself, right? Like I have taken so many leadership classes. I read a lot of leadership books, but I still needed like that reminder last week of like, hey, emotional intelligence, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, you're pissed off, but right now is not the time to act like you're upset. You know, these are all things that I know. I'm a leader. I don't think I'm the best, but you know, I do feel like I'm pretty good at what I do, obviously, you know. And so definitely it was one of those things where I had that wisdom inside of me, and I just needed to use it. And that would be it. So you guys, that's it for my messages for this week. Let me know what you guys think as always. And this week I'm doing something different. I'm also making another video that you're also going to find on my channel, but I'm not adding it to my podcast playlist. I'm actually making it its own. And it is going to be a little small vlog where I'm just going to go over all the different things. So if you're interested in just kind of guessing a little bit more into like me, go ahead and watch that video. Bye-bye.